In the opening scene of the movie, Axel Foley is shown cruising the streets of Detroit in search of criminals, while exchanging greetings with people that know him and respect him. The Detroit Red Wings are the target of a group of robbers, so Axel goes to a hockey game to meet with his partner, Mike Woody. He discloses his intentions to stop the theft to Mike. In the locker area, Axel discovers the robbers trying to flee with their looted goods. He goes in, disarms one thief, but another one hits him on the head and they try to escape. At first, they shoot at each other before the thieves get on their motorbikes and drive off. As he pursues the robbers through the streets with a reluctant Woody in tow vehicle, Axel smashes a lot of stuff in the process of trying to get the crooks. After ultimately pursuing the leader down an alley and driving him to an arrest, leaving Woody terrified. Axel is severely reprimanded by old buddy Deputy Chief Jeffrey Friedman when he got back to the police station. Chief of Police Jeffrey Friedman told Axel that he is retiring and urges him to get in touch with his daughter, who he is alienated from. Axel's daughter, attorney Jane Saunders, goes to see Sam Enriquez, a possible client, in Beverly Hills prison. Enriquez was suspected to have killed an undercover cop, Copeland, who was working with him to deliver drugs. Despite being found unconscious next to Lieutenant Copeland's dead body with a revolver on his lap, Enriquez tells Sanders that someone was following them and shot Copeland first. Enriquez attempted to steer toward the shooters, but he lost control and struck a post before passing out, according to him. During Enriquez's court appearance, Jane asks to provide proof suggesting Copeland may have been a dirty cop and had a connection to illegal activity which prompted his death. As she was leaving the court building, masked thugs catch her in the parking garage and demand that Jane abandon the Enriquez case. They throw her car over the edge after connecting the front of it to a truck. Jane is left hanging and horrified. Billy Rosewood, a former police officer who is now a private investigator, meets Jane when she recovers. For Jane's safety, he begs her to give up on the case. Billy gives Axel a call to inform him that his daughter, regardless of her desire, needs his assistance. Axel agrees to come to Beverly Hills the next day. Billy is spotted trying to stake out a drop at an impound lot after the call ends, but the drug dealers capture him and take him into custody. When Axel returns to Beverly Hills, he tries to contact Billy but no one was answering. He arrives at Billy's flat and discovers 3 thugs trashing the place in search of something. Axel tries to act as though he's been sent by their boss, but when they discover a photo of him and Billy, Axel has to spray the assailants with a fire extinguisher in order to escape. After robbing a meter maid's car, he gets chased down Rodeo Drive. Although Axel manages to get away from the thugs, he crashes the car and is taken into custody. Axel is questioned by Detective Bobby Abbott at the station and he tries to contact Jane, but she continues hanging up on him until he tells her it's about Billy. Axel learns through an awkward exchange that Jane and Bobby were once romantically involved when she reluctantly goes to bail him. After that, Axel is brought in to see Chief John Taggart, another of his old friends, who presents him to Captain Cade Grant, Taggart's protege. They discuss the case his daughter was working on, and Grant told Alex that Copeland worked for him and that his daughter was wrong about Copeland being a dirty cop. Axel tells Jane that he has misgivings about Grant since he believes Grant is dressing extravagantly for someone in his position. Jane informs Axel that Billy was present at the impound lot due to the presence of Copeland's vehicle. As they head to the scene of the crime, Axel tells Jane that his mother was the reason he vanished from her life and also cause he was the target of a vicious gang. After talking their way into the parking lot to locate Copeland's vehicle, Axel finds a covert security camera inside with the SD card stolen. The two deduce that Billy was searching for video that purportedly showed Copeland's murder. Axel takes a tracker out of Jane's car as they are leaving after realizing they are being followed. They put the tracker on a different vehicle which gave them a chance to follow the criminal to a social club. Axel and Jane enter the social club under false pretenses in order to speak with Grant and his henchmen. Grant insists that Copeland was not corrupt, while he ignores the means his thugs are using to obtain the SD card that he says will clear Copeland. Following their departure, Axel and Jane argue further over their relationship, and Axel goes to spend the night at a pricey hotel. The following day, he went to an address he took from Billy's office before being chased by the thugs and he saw a loading truck moving out of the place. He then went to Jane's firm to inform her of this discovery. While taking a drive, the two are ambushed by cartel gunmen on the streets, but Bobby shows up and assists in killing them because he has committed himself to the investigation. Returning to the station, Axel raises doubts about Taggart's possible criminal involvement based on what they have discovered thus far about Grant and his group. Offended, Taggart stands up for Grant and himself. He furiously tells Axel to go, then suspends Bobby. Axel and Bobby now collaborate with Jane at her firm to delve further. They discover that Billy's note contains the address of a home that Grant and his associates have been using to launder money on behalf of cartels. Axel enlists the help of Serge, another old acquaintance, to get them inside. The nearby mansion is having an open house, so he takes the three of them there. Axel tries to search other sides of the house while Jane and Bobby speak with Ashley, the real estate agent. He finds further evidence against Grant there. After learning about Axel's whereabouts through his henchmen, Grant assures them that he will personally handle Axel. Following yet another altercation with Jane, Axel leaves with Bobby to speak with Cholino, Enriquez's uncle. They go to his club and sit with him, offering to get his nephew out of jail. Cholino informs the two that Copeland was killed for attempting to come clean, and that Grant shields the cartels. Additionally, he informs them that a sizable shipment would be arriving at the port that evening. Grant and his men apprehend Axel and Bobby just before they leave, accusing them of drug possession. Following an unsuccessful interrogation, Axel releases his handcuffs and deceives Grant into allowing him to escape. After rescuing Bobby, he makes it to the rooftop, where Axel tries to convince him to take control of the helicopter, having previously learned that Bobby is a pilot. Bobby argues that he hasn't flown since a negative incident in the past, but Axel forces him to take the risk. Bobby takes the helicopter too low and gets chased by Grant and his thugs through the streets. Grant intercepts them as they attempt to return to the station, shoots the helicopter's rotor, and forces the two to make an emergency landing on a golf course. After robbing a cart, they leave again. In the meantime, Taggart discovers there is corruption in his department and contacts Jane after seeing Grant shoot at Axel and Bobby. Jane leaves Taggart's office and got in her car when one of the henchmen in a mask kidnaps her. When Axel and Bobby get to the pier, they discover where Billy is being held captive. Billy distracts his captors when he sees them, allowing Axel and Bobby to enter and take them out. Billy informs them that the SD card is in a knife at his apartment when they rob a truck. When Axel calls Jane, Grant picks up the phone, telling him that he has taken Jane hostage and insists that the SD card be brought to a certain place. Axel then calls Jeffrey, and he assists in locating Jane's phone at the estate. Axel tries to draw attention from other officers so they can be their backup, with many patrol vehicles chasing after him. He crashes the vehicle into the mansion, causing Grant's goons to exchange gunfire. After taking out the majority of the gunmen, Axel, Bobby, and Billy proceed to the chamber where Jane is being held. Jane gets free and hit one of thugs on the head. Grant distracts Axel while another thug tries to flank him, but Jane was fast to shoot him instead. Grant almost shoots Jane as Axel charges in but jumps in front of Jane and deflects the bullet into his chest. Bobby shoots Grant in the head to put a stop to him before he can finish them off. At that point, Jane runs to her father's side. Billy and Taggart meet up outside as Axel is taken to the hospital. When Jane visits Axel, she discovers that his room is empty. She expects to run into him at a local diner. Axel is informed by Jane that Enriquez has been cleared of all charges when the SD card was turned in. She thanked him for his help and Alex apologized for abandoning her. After their reconciliation, Axel thinks about remaining in Beverly Hills. At the end, Billy and Taggart engage in a stakeout a few nights later. Alex joins them in the backseat and persuades the two to join him for supper after some arguing. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. The end.